Welcome everyone to the moved up July 6th, July month meeting for the Village of New Paltz Zoning Board of Appeals. Normally we hold our meetings on the second Tuesday of each month. Just to make sure we had enough people, we moved it up to July 6th. I hope that didn't inconvenience anybody. We have a few items on the agenda tonight. I'm going to start with ZB 23-03. That's 181 Huguenot Street. They've requested an adjournment to the next meeting, so they will not be visiting us tonight. So if you had any questions or any feedback that you wanted to give to them, we'll have to wait till next meeting, which will be August 8th, for people out there listening. We have a public hearing that is still open for 181 Huguenot Street. I'm going to look around and I don't see anybody here. We had quite a good turnout last meeting. Autumn, is there anybody who is on Zoom or anything via an email that they would like read into the record?
Nobody. I received one more email from Robert Gabrielli about various criteria to submit to you, but it just came in. So.
All right. We'll consider that into the record as part of the public hearing and just make sure we get a chance to review that before the next meeting. With that said, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing for 181 Huguenot Street. Second. No, I'm going to close it. There's been plenty of people spoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Autumn, we can close the 181 Huguenot Street. I think we had half the town here last meeting. No, it's fine. We had plenty of, I think we've got pretty much all we need on that. The public hearing for 145 North Chestnut Street is also open. Do I need to make a motion to open that? Autumn, refresh my memory. Thank you. Okay. So can I get a motion then for ZB 23-02 145 North Chestnut Street to open the public hearing?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that public hearing is now open. Do we have anybody here who'd like to speak to that? Okay. Autumn, is there anybody on Zoom or is there any emails that would like to talk about that? Okay. With that said, did they follow all the proper procedures, Autumn, to make sure the public notice was out and about? Everything. So that was completed. So we're going to assume then that everybody in the village had proper notification. So with that said, there's no one here to speak on this. I'm going to make a motion, ask for a motion to close the public hearing for 145 North Chestnut Street.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that leaves an application. Well, actually, do I need to read this? This is a request to transfer funds. Autumn, I should take care of this for 137.
Yes, please. I meant to mention
So they've got $1,000 on escrow. They will be billed for $650. They want to use that escrow to apply it to those two outstanding invoices.
yes.
Do I need to make a motion to make that happen, or are you just going to recognize it? Okay, then can I have a motion then to apply the $1,000 that are in escrow into the two invoices for $500 and $150? It's an application fee and just a general escrow fee. So if total $650, it's covered. Can I get a motion then to apply those funds?
Yep, I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So that's fine. So send the $350 that's left to me, and we'll have a nice lunch. Scott won't mind it. He'll be more
Only
than
two of us
happy.
are going though.
Yeah.
I'll go out.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, he's sitting on the table, but we'll wait. I have something here to sign. Is this do I need to sign this? It looks like it's got a signature on it already.
That's a, yeah, that's a first.
Is that the planning, is that the chairman of the planning board signing my stuff again?
That might have been,
Is that John Litton?
that might.
I'm just going to sign over it real quick. And we had a discussion around 145 North Chestnut. I did not go through, we didn't put on the review of our criteria, our 5 factors. However, we have a representative here also from 145 North Chestnut Street. The attorney representing 145 North Chestnut, if you'd like to come up and introduce yourself.
Jalpi Albano from White Mountain and Hannah. I represent these properties on KDS Chestnut Street LLC, in their application for a northern and southern side yard setback. I believe my colleague at the last meeting went through the initial application with you. The reason we are bringing this application is due to the fire code issues and the NVR zone conflict. And I didn't know if you, like, how you would like to proceed with the factors, or if you, like, we outlined them in our letter, or advise the board.
Well, what happens is, we spoke with 145 North Chestnut Street at length, but Noah was not here. So it's up to you. We asked pretty much a lot of our questions, and would be prepared to have our own discussion around 5 factors and where we were leaning toward. But you weren't here, so whatever time that you want to take,
Yeah.
discuss with
Well, do you want to give
Dominique.
me just and I'm sorry, I missed the beginning where this has already been covered.
Oh, it's okay. So just to start out, I will go through.
I did read this letter.
You
so-
did read this letter?
I did.
Okay, so that's basically the broad overview of why we are pursuing these side yard setbacks, and to comply with the fire code, which requires 2 access roads. And they are required to be, when the building for a commercial structure is over 30 feet, they're required to be 26 feet in width. So that's why we need this extended side yard setback. Generally, the factors go through whether these impacts of approving a side yard setback are going to have an impact on the neighborhood, if they're going to be substantial, if there are going to be any environmental impacts. I would say no to all of those things. They're going to comply with the surrounding neighborhood and also the goals of the NVR district. It also, the reason being we couldn't, there's no other alternatives. There's no other alternatives is because we are trying to protect the stream in the rear of the property and stay outside that 30-foot setback. So that's another reason why we couldn't, felt like we could move the proposed building elsewhere when we're trying to stay within those setbacks and also create a connection to the Walk Valley Rail Trail. So overall, we've been working with the planning board and answering their questions on how this is benefits the neighborhood. They're going to be putting in a desirable use that's also going to provide additional housing that's needed in the village and also New York State. So
Can you remind me how much affordable housing?
I believe there's going to be 8 units. It's supposed to be 10 or 7 units. It's 8 or 7 units. I don't generally our design team this year. I'm going off the top of my head, but we do separate.
How many units is it total again? So it's 5%, council. You know the minimum
It
affordable
should
housing?
be-
It says 68.
68. It
So-
should be, yeah,
10, so 7 is the minimum.
7 is the minimum.
We always like to see you put in as many affordable housing units as possible. If that requires one extra one, they kind of round it up here because you can't put 6.8.
Right.
Joker. But, we do look fondly on as much affordable housing that any builder or owner of prospective property that they're going to look to build does. This town needs a lot of affordable housing. It needs a lot of housing in general, this village. So
It's an issue that comes up with people.
we like to see as much as possible. I'm not going to ask you to go back and make more. I've talked to him about this already. So 7 wasn't a bad number.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, we can have a, let's do that to the 5 factor that way. Yeah, I will say this, what normally happens next, Dominique, is we go through our own discussion. If we have a question, we'll ask you. If you have something to say, don't interrupt, but, just do something like that. Bring you right in and we'll have you answer a question. Or if we have something that council may want to jump in and say something, he can address you too as well. I don't have a problem with it. Just remember, it's not core law. We're the board. So
No worries, I
the
appreciate it.
objections, it's not going to work. It's not important.
I appreciate you.
Uh, we go through those factors and then we take a vote. And depending on that vote goes, I then ask council to draft a resolution one way or another, whether it is to grant that variance or to deny that variance for this particular property. I do have to let you know that when there are only 3 people here to vote, that it has to be unanimous. So it's how comfortable you really want to feel. You can hear by the tone of our discussions, you can generally feel how we feel about it. So then if you say, I have no problem postponing a vote to make sure all members are here, because I think sometimes it's unfair to demand a unanimous decision on a piece of property when we're supposed to have 4 people.
Sure, can I just get one clarification?
Sure.
The vote that you're gonna take, do you consider that a vote of approval or simply a vote to have me draft a particular?
We talked about this when we introduced, when we first, I don't want to get too long into this, when we first started, when I've been on the board now, it's going on 9 years. When we first got it, we did it exactly. We took a vote, we drafted a resolution based on how we voted. Then we had an official check mark when the next meeting, when Autumn would call the roll and we'd have to sign the sheet, everybody would check it. And then it got into, we couldn't say we wanted to approve it. Remember, we talked about this upstairs, and I don't like to do this. No, I want to take an actual vote, and I'll have you draft the resolution depending on how our vote goes. And then we'll make it official when we do the next vote.
But if you're actually taking an actual vote to approve it, at which point we'll do a resolution and do that, a couple of things. First of all, I don't believe we've gotten the county back yet.
Oh, then we can't vote.
Well, because if the county, bumps it up, then we would need actually 4 votes to pass it. Right? So I'm just pointing that out.
Okay, so.
Now, if you want to have me, if you want to get,
No, we
draft
can't
something-
vote on it. I'm gonna terminate the meeting right here. There's no point having a discussion, and I'll wait for Sean to come in. So are we cleared to vote
Well,
on this?
on the law, if it's 30 days out, we can go ahead without the county anyway, but I'm not going to recommend that. So that's where we're at.
Where are we, what are we waiting on back from the county? Because we'd never vote unless I have everything in from the county.
We have 30 days since we sent people to them. Okay, if the county has met that, we have no right to vote.
Yeah, I agree. No, we can discuss, but there's no point to discuss until, might as well wait for Sean to be here.
That's what.
Also gives you another 30 days to take a look at it. I will say, when your group was here last time, things proceeded in a positive direction. All right, so we'll leave it at that. I don't want you to sit there and wait by the phone for the next 30 days either. I don't think that's fair without getting the real temperature of the pulse of what we do. But we're only gonna have to have this discussion again the second time when Sean comes up, because he's want to go through his own 5 factors and he's gonna want to ask the same questions. So there's no point. It gives us all another 30 days to go ahead and review if something should pop up. Again, from our original discussions of last month, I saw nothing that would raise an eyebrow. Okay. All right, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know we didn't get everything back from the county yet.
It's not your fault.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no
Well,
problem.
yeah, no, I get it. And those county people. Okay, so thank you, Dominic. Our next meeting is August 8th. You're welcome to attend. I don't know if you've been, I don't check your schedule with the applicants. I don't know how necessary it will be. I don't ever want to tell council not to come.
Yeah,
It's up to you.
generally, our design team is more local than myself and Charlie.
Did you
So-
come a long way?
Yeah, I mean, our office is in Albany, so.
So you drove an hour and 10 minutes to come here. You told that we're not voting on this tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
She's
That's-
telling you, like.
Oh.
So,
Oh my
hear that,
God.
my guess. You're right. Sorry, Dominic. I will say, we'll make sure, reach out to Autumn
Yeah.
and just to make sure that we have everything we need back from the county And that's including the secret, right? Is everything will be back?
It's type 2.
Yes, type 2. We don't have to do it. That's
Trustee
correct.
knows
Thank
it.
you. No, we're good on
Okay.
that. And it'll lead agencies. Good. All right.
Sounds good.
So I will say, the way it'll work then is if we do make a vote on August 8th, it would officially be documented in September.
Okay.
That next, when did they plan to start breaking ground here and getting this back in front of the planning board for their?
Oh, we've been in front of I believe we're gonna be in front of the.
When do you expect to break ground on this? Okay, so I don't want to hold up if he had something with winter coming on and he wanted to get started
I
or
am.
something. And there was something going on that he was waiting for us to make a decision on to go one way or the other. I wouldn't want him to wait.
We're
on
still
it.
waiting on the planning board, so
Oh, yeah,
we're
okay.
not like,
Just get with Adam the next time. If you plan to attend on August 8th, make sure we have everything that we have. So you don't come down.
yeah, no problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Dominic, safe trip.
Yeah.
All right, so we can't approve the May minutes because we don't have Sean here. That's okay. Village board updates. Who's our new village liaison?
The new village liaison to the CDA is American Rock.
Oh. Okay, so we have the Honorable Tim Rogers, Mayor, as our liaison. So I guess he doesn't have part in, there's not gonna be any like the telephone game where somebody hears it and then reports it back and he's got it, right? So it's going to him first hand. Welcome, Dave, to our first meeting, by the way. You wanna say hi to the camera? Don't be shy. There you go. Give that in there. We have nothing else then for the July 6th. Dave, do you have anything you wanna add to this or anything
No,
like
glad
that?
to be here. It sounds like next month we're gonna have a few things to deal with. There's 181 figured out as well.
Yes, we will.
We're ready to.
Right.
Yes, and,
Should we call
pardon me?
it? You call
Yeah. Wrap it up. All right, so can I get a motion to close the July 6th, 2023 Village New Paltz Zoning Board of Appeals? All in favor?
it?
Aye. So we are officially, the meeting is closed and we'll see everybody next month.
Feel free to official act.
No, it's okay. I don't mind.